Hello! So, this is your math EOC lesson. This is your warm-up. A grocery store has a display of 54 bananas in bunches of 6. What is the number of bunches of bananas in the display? I keep messing up. So go ahead, after I'm done going over our warm-up page, you can pause and solve this. Go over the warm-up page. My name is Ms. Smith. My email is csmith@lswa.org, and my number is 682-777-9474. Our class expectations will L, listen carefully so that L, everyone can learn. E, enter prepared and stay engaged. A, arrive on time. R, be respectful of your learning and learning of everyone else. And N, never, ever, ever give up. So, yeah, pause. Solve. Alrighty, Roo. So, hopefully you've got that figured out, but we're going to work through it together as a group. And so the grocery store has a display of 54 bananas in bunches of 6. What is the number of bunches, or how many bunches of bananas in the display? So there are a few things that we already know. We know the total amount of bananas altogether. And we know that the bananas are in bunches of 6. And we know ultimately what we're looking for. We're looking for the number of bunches of bananas in the display. Now, you might be saying, Ms. Smith, I don't know what it means when they're saying bunches of bananas. And that's a very valid question. What does it mean when they say bunches of bananas? So instead of saying, like, hey, hold up, Ms. Smith, what does it mean when they say bunches of bananas? What we can do, I'm going to, instead of saying bunches, I'm going to add something else. I'm going to add a new word right here. Groups. So instead of saying bunches of bananas, we can say groups of bananas. Because bunches and groups are really just the same thing. So a grocery store has a display of 54 bananas in groups or bunches of 6. What is the number of bunches or groups? So I'm not going to change bunches both times of bananas in the display. So we know the total amount of bananas, and we know how many bananas are in each group. There are 6 bananas in each group. So how are we going to find that answer? What operation are we going to do to find that answer? Are we going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? We have our total. And from that total, are we going to add to that total? Are we going to take away from that total? Are we going to, what do you think? We know that we have groups, but with, no, Miss Smith. We know we have groups, but with those groups, are those groups equal sizes? Think about that. Yes, they are. What does that mean? There are 6 in each group. But are we adding to the 54? No, we're not. We're breaking down that 54 because we want to know how many groups there are. We're not adding on groups of 6. We're breaking down the 54 to see how many groups of 6 there are. We're not adding more groups of 6. We're seeing how many groups of 6 there are altogether. So how do we do that? So if we think about that, and so even before we do that, when we're breaking down groups, what operation is that? We know it's equal groups. There are two operations that we can do that involve equal groups. We have multiplication and we have division. So when we think about equal groups, we know we can do multiplication and division are equal groups. With multiplication, we're adding on using equal groups because it's repeated addition. With division, we're breaking apart to see how many equal groups there are. So we have our total, and we're breaking apart that total. So we are dividing. So I'm going to put my division sign right up here just as a helpful reminder because we know Miss Smith has some brain hiccups sometimes. So let's take our total. We're going to do 54 divided by 6. So 54 is our dividend. That's our total. 6 is our divisor. That's how many groups we have. How many bananas are. That's how many bananas are in our bunch. That's how many bananas are in one bunch. Yes. Now we just need to know what our quotient is. How many bunches of bananas are there with 6 in each bunch? Yes, use your brain, Miss Smith. So 54 divided by 6 will tell us that. So we have a couple of strategies to figure that out. We can say 6 because 6 is our I had to think of my vocabulary word. Our 6 is our divisor. And because multiplication and division, we are reverse opposites. 6 times blank. Our blank is something. We don't know what it is. And I'm going to put a B. Wait. 6 times B because we're looking for the B for bunches of bananas. 6 times B equals 54. So if you have that automaticity, you might know that. So if you know 6 times B or 6 times, Miss Smith kind of does that sometimes to help you think of the automaticity equals 54. You know that 54 divided by 6 equals, B, equals B, are bunches of bananas. But if you don't have that, that's totally cool. We can model it out, which we know that's kind of where Miss Smith's brain has to go. She has to model it out. I have a learning disability in math, and it's okay to model it out. So we can model it out using arrays. So we know how many bunches of bananas how many bananas are in each bunch. There are 6. So I'm going to do a little 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my first column. Am I done? No, I have to get to 54. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I done? Am I done? No, I have to get to 54. How many do I have? 6 times 2, that's 12. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I done? No, I'm not. 6 times 3, that's 18. I know I have 6 in each column, and I have 3 columns, so 6 times 3, that's 18. I have to get to 54. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I done yet? Nope. Have to keep going. I have 4 columns. 6 times 4 is 24. Keep going, Miss Smith. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I done yet? Nope. I have 6 in each column. I have 5 columns. 6 times 5 is 30. Keep it up. I have to get to 54. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 columns. 6 in each column. 6 times 6 is 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 second, I have to sneeze. All right, thank you. I had to sneeze. All right, so I have 6 in this column, and I have 7 columns. 6 times 7 is 42. Am I done yet? Nope, but I'm getting closer. I need to get to 54. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. I have 6 in this column. 6 times, and I have 8 columns. 6 times 8, 48. Am I done yet? Nope, but I'm getting closer. I need to get to 54. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in each column. I have 9 columns. 6 times 9 is 54. So 6 times, I'm going to quickly, 9 equals 54. 54 divided by 6 equals, there we go, it equals 9. I shouldn't have said like that. It's like 9. All right. Now, that is my array. I have 6 bananas in each column. I ended up making 9 columns. So 6 times 9 equals 54. Now, there was a strategy if you were watching the help class, if you came to help class, or no, we talked about it on Monday or Tuesday. One of our new classmates, Yasmin, was talking about, it's like the old school strategy. So we put our dividend, which is 54. Come on, Miss Smith. 54 divided by our divisor, which is 6, the number of bananas in each group. I'm going to change my pen color. So 6 times, and the way we're doing this, you're kind of almost dividing, you're not dividing. Yes, you're dividing, but you're using your multiplication. So you're going to look at it 6 times, and you're going to go to the first number. 6 times what equals 5? Or can 6 multiply into 5? No. 6 times what equals 5? It doesn't. Or can 6 divide into 5? No. Why not? Because 6 is larger than 5. So Well, technically it can, because 0 is always our hero. So if we say 0 is our hero, we can go 6 times 0. 6 times 0 equals 0. 5 minus 0 equals 5. And then we go, can 6 divide into 54? Can 6 go into 54? Can 6 be, oh, I need to bring down my 4. I apologize. Can 6 go into 54? If it can, yes. Can it go into it, the entire number, or will it, when I say the entire number, we already know what the answer is. It's 9. Or is it a smaller number? Like, would it be less than that? We'll talk about that later. We need to move on. Millie needs to go potty, so we need to keep going. So yes, it can. We already know that because we used the array and found 6 times 9 equals 54. So 6 times 9 equals 54. Now, what if it wasn't 9? Let's say 6 times 9 didn't equal 4, but it was 6 times 8 equals 40. I think it was 48, but 9 didn't make it all the way to 54. It made like 53 or something. We would just use let's not say 8. Let's say 6 times 9 equaled 53. We know it doesn't. We're just playing pretend. You would just do 53. Whatever came the closest without going over. That's the goal. What comes closest without going over? Use your brain, Miss Smith. But it actually comes exactly there without going over. So 6 times 9 equals 54. And then you just put your 54 right here and subtract it out. 5 minus 5, 0. 4 minus 4, 0. And so how many bunches of bananas do we have? We have 9 bunches, which is exactly the same. With that being said, let's move on. Sorry. So we can correctly solve multiplication and division problems and explain our thought process. We have some vocabulary words we need to quickly go over. First, dividend, the total amount in a division problem. Division is simply breaking down a number into equal parts or groups. Divisor, how the dividend is being divided or broken apart. And quotient, the answer to a division problem. Factor, the number being multiplied in a multiplication problem. And product, the answer to a multiplication problem. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to match the vocabulary word to the correct definition. You'll do that on your own. Then read each story problem, then drag the story problem to the operation that matches the correct mathematical reasoning. After you're done doing that, show your solution for each problem. Click on the image to see 2 examples. So right here for addition, you have 17 tickets for the carnival. Your friend gives you 6 more. How many tickets do you have now? That would be like the example that you would drag over, and then you would just solve it. The carnival ride costs 3 tickets to ride. You have 17 tickets. How many tickets will you have if you ride the carnival ride? So that would be the example for subtraction. Then you would just solve it out. So read each of these. Then I don't even know if this is the correct one. You would just drag it over and then solve it. But like I said, I don't even know if that's the correct one. From here, match the multiplication expression on each toaster with the toast array that represents it. So we're going to quickly do one together. So let's do one that allows Miss Brain to like stop for 3 seconds. Minus 3. Yeah. Dude, Miss Smith, use your brain. I know you guys were saying that. 2 times 3. So 2 times 3. So 2 rows, 3 columns. The first number is telling us the number of our rows. The second number is telling us the number of columns. Always remember that. First number tells us the number of our rows. The second number tells us the number of our columns. So click on the toaster and then click on the bread. All right. Then you have help the bee collect pollen on the way to the hive. Begin at the flower with the bee. Then solve the division problem on the flower. Use a quotient to guide the bee from flower to flower until it reaches the hive. Trace the bee's path as you go. Click the additional image to see the example. So you're going to start right here. 9 divided by 3. So you can either go this way. Would it be 4? You could go this way. Would it be 2? Or you could go this way. 9 divided by 3, which would be 3. It would be 3. And then you come to 32 divided by 8. So you have 3 different paths. 32 divided by 8, you could can't go backwards because your goal is to get to the honey hive. 32 divided by 8, would it be 2? Would it be 5? Or 32 divided by 8, would it be 4? It would be 4. So do that for this one. So you're going to start at 8 divided by 4 and then work your way. But please remember, use your pen to trace. Then we have your exit ticket. Sunday bought 48 hamburgers for a party. The buns come in packages of 8. How many packages did she buy? Solve, and you are done. Yay!